New York. Is there a problem? Another one?
Central's picking up some unusual activity at the New York Museum of Art. Looks like a break-in. It's all stolen artwork, recently recovered from the personal collection of... Deadpool?
That Harlequin is an art thief?
No. Red Skull is the art thief. Deadpool is more of a... kinda like... You really need to see for yourself.
Any intel on our museum thief? Let me guess. Captain Mayo in the archives with a candlestick.
Hydra Mystic in the warehouse. No candles. Whatever Hydra is looking for, it seems they have yet to find it.
Just don't let them find you.
You the new guy?
Huh?
Sorry, the new fully customizable, heroically upgradable monster masher? Wisecracking anti-hero, merc, very occasional hero, whatever. I'm adaptable. Spin me off, it's a big franchise.
Stop talking.
Are you here for the statue too?
What statue?
The one my very mysterious and very scary client from somewhere in very Eastern Europe wants me to steal back from the guy who stole it from him? It's the Circle of Crime.
That one?
Well, Jimmy, my frickin' chongas. Yeah, that one. Hands up and pants down, ladies and gents. This is a robbery. I'm sorry, have we met? Aren't you... Sloth? No, Sylvia. Cindy?
Please kill him.
Sin! That's it, of course, Sin. Granddaughter of Redhead. I mean Skull. I mean Scalp. Whatever.
Now!
We never seem to have much luck with these stealth approaches.
I have yet to participate in one that was actually quiet.
Quiet is boring. I'm almost never quiet, and things go not terrible for me sometimes.
Try not to get wiped out by Hydra flunkies while you're mouthing off.
Not dying is actually a key part of my strategy.
I'd love to hear who hired you to steal that artifact if you're feeling chatty, and I know you are.
Wait, you aren't the usual lady in my ear. Who is this?
Carol Danvers?
Why is that name so familiar?
I'm Captain Marvel.
Ah, it's finally happening!
Always happy to meet my fans.
I need to stop taking jobs from mysterious internet strangers. This could have been dangerous.
This internet seems like nothing but trouble.
But there are so many adorable puppy videos, not to mention all the not safe for work stuff. Grrr.
What is...
Don't even ask, Hunter.
Step away from the artifact.
Click!
Did you just say click?
Yes, I did. For emphasis. Now hand over the statue.
Fool! Do you know what...
Monologue-free zone here. It's in my contract. Sorry. Now, respect the click and hand over the... Whoa. Big click energy. I like it. Want to help me kill some Nazis?
Hydra aren't Nazis.
Potato frittata.
But they have outlived their usefulness to me.
See? I had your back.
Right. Where is Sin? And the statue?
The level designer says she went that way.
Why betray her own people?
Maybe she appreciates a plot twist? You first. Is this a mole man thing? Please let this be a mole man thing. Cause you know I'm the biggest mole man fan. Uh-oh.
It would seem Hydra and their mistress have escaped with the artifact.
Is this like one of those monkey's paw things? I say mole man, and the universe gives us off-brand vampires?
They're vampires with a Y. It's a whole... Don't ask.
Wasn't gonna. So, is there some special way to dust these critters?
Beat them before they eat you?
Bet you can't guess how many times I've heard that. Where's Blade when you need him? Technically, aren't these things his cousins?
No relation, as far as I know.
Word of advice, never suggest Blade is like other vampires.
Oh, we've met. He did not appreciate my humor.
Heard you got an annoying problem down there. And also vampires.
Blade! I was just saying we could use the help of an actual expert here.
I'll bet. Shouldn't be any bloodsuckers left in that part of the city.
They appear to be some sort of man-bats, of both the white and blue subvariants. The dorsal striping indicates...
They are new breed vampires, both immature and fully developed.
I don't like that at all.
Thanks for calling, Blade. Super helpful.
These vampires are a problem. At least we know how to handle them.
Without that statue, not even a sparkly hole can cheer me up.
Is this about your very scary client again?
When he finds out how royally I botched this mission, or worse, when he finds me, I'll be...
Deader, Pool?
There it is! You go, new guy. And by that, I still obviously mean the new, fully customizable...
Come back with us, to the Abbey.
No.
The magical wards will protect you.
No.
Hell no.
You can hide there. Help us track down Sin.
No!
Fight off the vampire infestation.
If you insist. Look, Ma, I'm gonna be DLC. Thanks, Hunter. You're literally a lifesaver. I'll just lie low until my job is done.
Does your job always require you to steal art?
That's what the client wants, sure. Most of the time, it's making people sleep forever. The forbidden nap, if you will. Mercenary work is a grab bag of awful stuff, and it rules.
Well, it is certainly a way to make a life for yourself.
It's not all sunshine and kittens, unless the job is at an animal shelter.
You hurt small creatures?
No, I only hurt people. Puppies have never done anything wrong.
Hurting people does not bother you?
I don't get paid to be bothered. I get paid to be cool and steal priceless artifacts.
The statue being one of them?
Stealing things isn't my usual jam, but money talks, and I sure love listening.
Can you tell me more about the statue?
Do I look like some sort of artsy-fartsy hipster to you?
I am wondering why it was important to you.
Because looking at it made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
You and Sin were both after the statue, so it must be valuable.
It's valuable to my client, and that's enough for me.
Your mystery client, who you will not tell me about?
Not unless I want to be on the receiving end of his punishment. Normally, I'd be into that, but he's too scary.
Scary how?
So scary that I took a magical portal to a stranger's house in order to stay away from him.
You are welcome to stay at the Abbey for as long as you need.
I'm gonna leave a Deadpool-sized impression on the couch. That's where I'm headed, unless you still want my attention.
I have questions, if you do not mind.
Sounds like somebody hasn't looked me up on the internet. Shoot.
How come I have never seen you without the mask?
It's physically glued to my face. If I try and remove it, my skin peels off like gum stuck on the bottom of a shoe.
That sounds unpleasant.
The mask helps hide what's going on under here. It ain't pretty, and I don't want to make people barf just by looking at me. That's not as fun. Or I can be honest and say there wasn't the budget for it. You pick whichever one sounds better.
I find it hard to believe you are ugly.
Hey now, I never called myself ugly. This is to protect the softies who can't handle what peak male hotness looks like.
What is your special ability? I have not seen it yet.
Just 'cause I can't shoot lasers or pick up and yeet a bus doesn't mean my power is invisible. Wait, unless I can turn invisible now. Hold on, let me try. Nope, still only got my super regeneration.
Regeneration? You are able to heal quickly?
My healing factor can basically bring me back from anything. No hand, no body, no prob. My cells are always regenerating.
That is incredible.
Makes the life of a merc a lot easier when you literally can't die. Sounds good on a business card, too.
Can you tell me more about your katanas?
Oh, the girls? I'm so glad you asked. They never get any attention. Guns are so impersonal. I like using the old hack and slash approach with these puppies.
I also use swords. Using them takes much skill and strength.
I might not look it, Hunter, but I'm as skilled as hell swordsman. We should dance sometime.
With our swords or with each other?
Both.
Can you tell me why you're called the Merc with a Mouth?
My mouth is special, Hunter. I say all kinds of words with it. That's kind of my shtick.
I do not understand. We all have mouths. What does it mean?
It means I talk a lot, hence Merc with a mouth. I crack jokes and break the fourth wall so much that I may as well be the Kool-Aid Man.
Who were you before becoming Deadpool?
I was just a normal dude, except I had terminal cancer. Then I went through an experiment that was supposed to cure me, but surprise, it didn't. Instead of dying, I got the diagnosis of living forever because of a big oopsie done by bad people who turned Wade Wilson into this guy.
Wade Wilson?
Oops, that's me. Well, before all that crap.
It sounds like you have dealt with a lot, Wade.
Oh, don't even think about it. I have a badass superhero name for a reason.
Before we came to the Abbey, you said you were going to be DLC. What does that mean?
Deadpool living comfortably.
What?
What?
I misspoke. Talk later, Deadpool.
Stringing me along? How cruel.
So, the team encountered some new breed vampires up close. Your thoughts?
Ask Morbius.
Right, the creepy kind of vampire guy. Not to be confused with the stern kind of vampire guy we know and, you know the expression.
I do know the expression.
Okay then. Anything else of note?
Hydra is involved with the vampires. It is not yet clear how.
Don't worry. I'm gathering all the intel you'll need. Soon enough, we'll kick the new breed back into whatever hell they crawled out of. Anything else on your mind?
What can you tell me about this new breed?
Well, from a spotty centuries-old reference and the data we've collected, new breed vampires are basically fangs, claws, and a bottomless stomach. They live to feed. But they don't drink blood. They eat people whole.
Can they turn humans into vampires?
Well, they create new hemolisks from whatever they can't digest. Strange suggested some kind of dark magic regurgitation.
The boundaries of dark magic are ever expanding.
And gross. I won't mind if they shrink a little.
How do classic vampires differ from new breed vampires?
These Zoomer vampires are more outgoing. They hunt in packs and don't seem to care if anyone notices them. They have similar weaknesses, sunlight still kills them, but not everything lines up. No need to invite them in, they're happy to smash through the door. Oh, and while they don't turn people into vampires, they can infect classic vampires who then serve as portable hemolisks for the new breed.
What do we know about Sin?
Apparently, she's a vampire. A vamp classic, not the new breed. That was news to me. Before that, S.H.I.E.L.D. knew her as a decently competent Hydra luminary. Sin always got a ton of leeway because she's Red Skull's grandkid.
Red Skull?
The yin to Steve's yang. Founded Hydra, fought on the wrong side of World War II, and had a nasty itch for world domination.
Do you think Sin could be working for my mother?
She and Faustus used to fight like a sack of rats. Whatever her game is, Hydra as a whole doesn't seem to be a part of it.
Thanks, Carol.
See ya.
Did you sleep well?
Oh, sure. I can pass out just about anywhere.
Well, I hope the Abbey starts to feel like home for you soon.
You know what they say? Home is where the unresolved childhood trauma is. I'm sure you've got plenty of that.
I try not to think about the bad memories I made in the Abbey.
Oh, you know what that sounds like? The classic Deadpool method.
What is this Deadpool method?
Your brain gets bonked around so much it just sort of forgets things. Quick, ask me about my childhood.
How was your...
How could you ask me such a sensitive question? Shame on you, Hunter. JK, kidding. I don't remember a thing. Don't worry about me. I love weird. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to explore all of the Abbey's nooks and crannies in great detail. Ooh, when are we gonna slay some vamps?
We aren't going anywhere. This is a solo job.
You know how boring solo jobbing by yourself is? Come on!
No way. You're too distracting. I need to be focused out there.
This could be a great bonding experience for us. We could touch steaks.
Blade, you should bring Deadpool.
Ha! See? Let me go put on my vampire hunting undies.
Thanks a lot, Hunter.
I had to learn to work with you. So should he.
But you aren't Deadpool. I've got something.
No, don't tell me. Dead cat wrapped in cabbage? What? What is that?
That is a hemolisk.
With a face not even a Shemalisk could love. If that is a face. Because maybe it's... Okay. Definitely not the face.
It's a vampire egg sac, which means now we're on the lookout for...
Vampire bacon sack? Huh? Get it?
What do we have? A full infestation?
If we're lucky.
Then I suggest you eliminate the threat before the vampires can get any stronger.
On it.
Or we pop that sucker like a giant zit. Yeah, no, your idea's great too.
Do what you can down there, Blade, and try not to lose your cool with that merc.
Cough! Did you forget I can hear you? That's okay. Probably just a senior moment.
I wouldn't poke that hornet's nest if I were you.
I'm great with fossils. She probably just needs her daytime meds and a nap.
Now listen here, you little...
Oh, I love you too, Grammy.
Those hemolisks are birthing new breed vampires at an alarming rate.
Oh, these aren't the neck-biting handsy types from the movies. Whatever happened to them?
I killed most of them.
Blade? I think you might be my soulmate.
Don't get any ideas.
Ouch!
Easy enough.
Oh, good. The healing factor will fix me up. You do know I have a healing factor, right?
Well done, you two.
What the?
I'll come with. Or should I just stay? Right. Okay. Good talk.
What kind of monster is that?
Get off me, you overgrown piece of stuff!
This is starting to feel like a real job all of a sudden. Blade's job.
Sure, punk out. It's what you do best.
We need to hang out more, Blade. We're like two peas in a pod.
Like it or not, you all seem to work surprisingly well together.
Something's wrong. Something's changed.
Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm gonna go with new benches.
Vampires attacking civilians in plain sight? That's not vampire protocol.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's really not.
Do you think anyone would notice if I just left you here?
They'll know. Okay. You want answers? I'll call my client. Not here. Back home. Where we're safe from client bots.
Home? You mean my home? The Abbey, which is absolutely 100% not your home? Make the call.
Look, it's late in Latveria now. There's that whole time zone thing, and my client is a physician, you know, working those long physician hours.
Oh, what?
Sweetest guy, but he's a real bear when he's grumpy. Hey, it wasn't that bad.
Are you serious? It was awful.
Quit being a pussycat. No one got hurt.
No one got hurt yet. I don't care what you do in your off time, but when we're out on missions, you don't jeopardize the team. Got it?
It's cute when you set up boundaries.
I'm serious. You pull any of that crap that might put us in danger, and it's over for you. End of discussion.
Thanks for the save there. I thought Blade was gonna stab me again.
Are you all right?
All right is subjective, but I'm still breathing.
I was hoping the two of you would not fight.
I can play nice all day when we're out there kicking bad guy booty, but asking me to make friends? Barf.
There will be less tension among the team if you at least fake it.
Oh, if I had a nickel for every time. Ah, never mind. All these chumps are my co-workers, not friends.
If you try, it will be easier to work with everyone.
Ugh, you sound like a camp counselor. What's next? You want us to gather round and make s'mores? Ooh, please say yes. I don't care if people don't like me. I can't blame them. It's hard being the most skilled, attractive, funniest, and humble person here. They could start an I Hate Deadpool club. I'm already a founding member, but for $20 they could join.
If you want to spend your time here being hated, that is up to you.
A little rough, but I can handle it.
I will not interfere with your choices here.
Bad Choices was my nickname in school, right next to Biggest Mouth.
Are you and Blade going to be okay?
I'm not going to lose any sleep over our squabble, but I can't speak for him.
Just try not to anger him. For me.
You missed your opportunity to make me pinky promise.
What happens if you break that kind of promise?
You cut off my pinky. Don't worry, it'll grow back.
Blade, is something the matter?
You tell me, Hunter.
I saw what happened. You do not care for Deadpool, do you?
Things have gone to hell since he showed up.
I understand, but is being rigid the right way to get through to him?
No, Hunter, you don't. He's not trying to get on your nerves 24/7.
What happened on the mission?
I stabbed him.
All right. What happened?
Deadpool was messing around, not taking our job seriously.
So your solution was to hurt him?
You're acting like I did it for fun. I didn't stab Deadpool because he's a pain. He was doing his own thing and got in the way.
So you put each other in danger?
You weren't there, Hunter. He's a liability.
But he is our ally, and we should treat him as such.
Not happening. You do what you have to do, but I'm not going out of my way for him.
These vampires are getting out of control, and it's all Deadpool's fault. Blah, blah, judgy judge.
Don't be so harsh on him, Sarah. He's super brave, and super awesome, and super handsome. Thou saveth my behind from foul beasts. Thou shalt henceforth have my undying devotion.
Aw, shucks. Really tickles the cockles of my heart.
We won't judge you. I don't even care that you're...
Working for Dr. Doom?
On my honor, in accordance with the mercenary code, I can neither confirm nor deny the identity of my client.
You, Honor.
At least tell us what this unidentified physician client hired you to find.
On my honor, in keeping with... No, wait, I can answer that one. A little something called the Magna
Corrigo.
That's it.
You mean the vampire Holy Grail?
Is it really that bad?
The ancient relic my blood-sucking cousins believe will cure them of every weakness? Sunlight, silver,
Garlic breath?
Finding it wouldn't be melodramatic. It would be cataclysmic.
Unless you happen to be a vampire.
And? Have you found it?
This close. Tracked it to some backwards country full of mud, goats, and potatoes. Transia. Like that's a thing.
Transia. Why does it always have to be Transia?
Mud? Goats?
The Abbey is from Transia.
So is one of the Midnight Suns.
Love Transia. Love it. What's better than mud wrestling? Except goat wrestling, huh? And a huge fan of tater tots here.
Stop talking. We have a relic to hunt.
And I have the coordinates. Straight from my client's mouth. If he has one behind all that... never mind. An old abandoned castle. If that doesn't scream Mambo Cerebro, I don't know what does.
First rule of relic hunting. An old abandoned castle is almost never abandoned. We have Hydra vampires up ahead.
Acknowledged.
Do you think the vampires joined Hydra, or was it the other way around? Ooh, which reminds me. Dear Hydra Bob, are you a vampire? Love, Deadpool.
Proceed with caution.
No time to dilly-dally.
Of course.
Well, guess what, everybody? Ah! I'm okay. Question. Is blood-sucking abomination a higher rank than Goon in Hydra's power structure?
All equally disposable.
You're kind of dark, huh? I like it.
It is fortunate my mother did not consider turning Hydra into these things.
As if we haven't had enough to deal with already. There seems to be no shortage of vampires roaming these woods. They just keep coming.
This place would make a great haunted hayride. Maybe Hydra can earn a few extra bucks in the off-season.
There won't be an off-season if this keeps up.
Welcome to my family home. Destroyed by your allies as they tried in vain to destroy my grandfather.
And that would be Red Skull, I gather? From the, redness of the, skull behind you?
On our left. Careful.
And you be careful. Please, it's been a rough couple of years, and I love you for who you are.
A great man, my grandfather. A brilliant man. I worshipped him once.
Just once? Must not have been that great.
More to our right.
But at last, I have a new master. A worthy one. And when the ritual is complete and the Magna Core ego is awakened, we shall...
Rude. Oh, is that my bad? Hold that thought. Oh, good. Hydra Bob's not a vampire. What were you saying about the mango gazebo?
Enough blasphemy. End them, now.
Like grandfather, like granddaughter, huh? Toodle nut job. And that's coming from me.
You cloak your fear behind petty insults and mindless drivel.
If nothing else, she's perceptive.
Do you not see their transcendence? They are the superior form now.
I don't know, lady. Have you seen my glutes?
Are you enjoying yourself?
Just easing the tension.
Focus on the statue. You must stop the ritual.
Come on, Grammy. You may have memory issues, but that doesn't mean we do. Wait, what are we doing again? I thought this was gonna be tough. Maybe they thought it was gonna be easy. Do we cancel out?
Lilith herself could not best me. What makes you think you will fare any better?
Arrogant mortals! The Magna Core ego is eternal. Its darkness shall spread across the lands until the world is cloaked in endless night.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm evil.
I'll use it
Something,
to
something,
destroy
world
you.
domination, blah, blah, going to destroy you.
Now, prepare yourselves.
Something, something, something. Screw it.
You shall bear witness to the ascension of...
Click.
What? You monster!
That's a little on the nose, don't you think, Cindy? Whoa! Cindy smog cannot be good for the old Lungaroos.
Caretaker, are you tracking this?
Affirmative. Hold on. We're getting you out of there.
Farewell, my friend.
Yeah, okay, about that. Quick cue. Seeing as I just destroyed Doc my unidentified physician client's vampire with a Y, Holy Grail, is it cool if I crash with you for a while? Friend?
I don't think.
A while?
No.
Not forever.
Big no.
20, 30 years tops.
No.
Come then.
Oh, can I be in the sequel?
Do not fret. The Magna Corrigo was not crucial to my ascension. Rise, my child. We must prepare for the endless night.
Yes, Master.
Well, everything is out in the open now. I'm fully exposed.
Are you not worried about any repercussions from this Doctor of Doom?
If I think about it too hard, yeah. But lucky for me, this dome piece is empty. There's so much free real estate up here.
How did you even get involved with him in the first place?
Haven't you listened to anything I've said? Money.
Well, you knew he was dangerous. Was the job worth it?
Yeah, you can't make an omelet without strangling a few chickens. Besides, fumbling the bag led me to you. A win-win situation, if you ask me.
So long as you are happy with the outcome.
Oh, I'm putting Merc stuff on the back burner. No freelancing. Just gonna work pro bono for the MidnightSuns. Did you know pro bono doesn't mean what I thought it did?
I cannot speak for the rest of the team, but it will be nice to have the extra help.
I hope my heroics with the Magna Corrigo back there bought me brownie points with the goody two-shoes around here.
I did not anticipate you destroying the Magna Corrigo.
What? Mr. Questionable Morals can't have a change of heart?
I am pleasantly surprised.
I choose to take that as a compliment.
So, what is next for Deadpool?
I've got an exclusive contract with the MidnightSuns.
I have always considered you part of the team.
The more murder hands, the merrier. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go make my presence known.
How will you be doing that?
Fireworks, balloons, gunshots. The huge.
Just because there is talk of a slime monster lurking beneath Manhattan does not mean...
Oh, it does. Look, I know Eddie and Venom. They're not what you'd call unsore losers. And we did, you know, kind of bury them under an old bell tower.
Has anyone seen the creature since?
Long gone by the time S.H.I.E.L.D. showed up. They go to ground when you wound their pride. In this case, underground.
Venom on the loose, licking his wounds.
Now that's a friendly neighborhood problem. So, how about we go solve it?
Do you have a question?
You gotta work on your social cues. We got all the slime in the world. So, where's our slime monster?
Vampire. Ah, vampires.
Maybe it's the Downtown Express?
Sounds like a lair.
Sounds like.
Still so hungry.
And there is your slime monster.
Time for seconds.
Breakfast for dinner, I guess, with a side of vamp over easy.
Not so easy for the vamp.
Oh, gross, Eddie! It's hard to know who to root for in these parasite versus parasite situations.
Parasite?
A demonically possessed symbiote?
With a vampire's bloodlust.
Not good.
Come on, Eddie, don't do this!
They are definitely doing this.
I should have known that thing would crawl back to the sewers once Lilith had no use for it.
We have no use for Lilith! We don't need her!
Tell yourself whatever you have to.
Not to interrupt, but have you really been eating those vampires, Eddie?
The rarest meat of all!
So if you are what you eat, what does that make you?
Thirsty.
I never thought I'd miss being chased across the city, but this is really getting gross.
Somehow the smell is even worse down here.
He's not eating roses.
Remember the old days, Eddie? We had our differences, but were they really as bad as this?
Good or bad, we have had enough of all of you!
I'm really getting through to him today.
Demon energy from every pore!
Don't lose it, pal. Either of you.
He is lost. One mercy remains.
Ah, yes. The elimination of one tormented soul for the good of many. Oh, but humans do love a moral dilemma. The umami of an otherwise flavorless existence.
Mephisto.
Gesundheit. Nice mullet.
Go to hell.
There's nowhere I would rather be, but I've come on business. So let's make a deal.
Is this one of those fiddle at the crossroads scenarios, or...
No deal.
My terms are as follows. I spare Venom. I cure the symbiote of Lilith's demonic touch. I end the blood fever he's given himself, gorging on curdled vampire bile. I retch a little thinking of it.
I said, no deal.
All this, and I ask but one inconsequential thing in return. Stop the vampire uprising. The undead are bad for business.
So you cure Eddie, and we keep doing what we've been doing?
Yes. Wipe them out. Remove every trace of their foul scourge from the earth. Then I will cure this pathetic creature forever.
For the last time, no.
Hold up. Give me the fine print.
Nothing much. The usual. If you should fail, you'll discover something far more threatening than the undead, namely yours truly, etc., immortal soul, yada yada.
This is a bad idea.
This or he dies? We don't have much of a choice. I'm in.
Good. Just sign there and there. You may feel a little sting.
Bad food! We will destroy you, bad food!
Go get him, Ed.
We should follow.
You do have a vampire war to wage. Oh, and Peter, I'll see you around.
How did he know my... Huh. Of all the surprises we've had so far, that was one of the weirdest. So, that's a truce then, right, Eddie?
We feel like ourselves again. Weaker, but ourselves. We will spare you. For now.
Okay, that's progress.
He didn't threaten to eat you. That is progress.
Is that...
Eddie?
Well, this is awkward.
You are the man in the monster?
Something like that.
So, you okay, Eddie?
Blood! Kidding, little joke. No, I come in peace.
For once.
Really? New kids gotta get in on this too? Hey, by the way, you're killing it out there. Respect.
Thank you. Not my first vampire war.
Eddie, are you yourself again?
Well, you mean, are we ourselves? Yeah, Lilith. She made us a monster. We did awful things. You know that's not who we are, right?
Of course.
So I'm sitting here, well, in there, and thinking... I saw what you did for me. So, how about we put aside all our, personal stuff?
Okay...
No, not forever. Just until this whole messed up vampire situation's figured out. Till all the innocent people are safe. I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah. I don't know.
Works for me.
Shake on it. Oh, wait a sec. Put her there, partner.
I'm there, partner.
Welcome to the MidnightSuns?
You guys really put the home in home base. This is an impressive setup.
I hope the accommodations are better than what my mother provided.
Your mother gave me a lot of stuff, but most of it was grief. Thanks again for what you did for me. As if my past wasn't complicated enough, your mother added a fresh pile of regrets.
You are part of a much larger battle. I'm glad to have you on our side.
And I'm glad I'm on the side that lets me control my own body.
Can I trust you to work with Peter?
Look, Parker and I have a complicated history, but it's water under the bridge. Well, I guess we're still building that bridge. But we have bigger fish to fry. From the bridge. Yeah, but enough about us. Can you trust me after everything that happened? I mean, I kept trying to eat you.
You were a different person. I cannot blame you for my mother's control.
Oh, that's a relief. Thought it might be weird between us. Want to hug it out? Sorry, I just made it awkward, didn't I?
No more than Peter Parker does.
So, now that we've cleared the air, I'm a little worried about the deal we made with the devil. That's the first time I've meant it literally.
Mephisto is malevolent. Every interaction with him is playing with hellfire.
I hate fire. Almost as much as I hate demons. No offense, but I hear there's a gym here, and I'm itching to check it out. I'm gonna do that, unless you need something else?
I would like to get to know you better.
Okay, hit me.
I would like to know more about you.
Really? Like what?
What was your life like before you became Venom?
I was a reporter, and I was pretty good at it. Well, I was okay. Somewhere between okay and pretty good. Had a few wins, Then one major gaffe blew up my whole career.
What happened?
It's a long story. And not my favorite one to tell. Maybe I'll share the details someday. All you need to know is that it nearly ended my career. I still find the occasional reporting gig, but, well, let's just say it's for news sites with stories about how the government buries alien bodies in the desert.
Do they?
Oh, yeah. Just not the kind of aliens these sites talk about.
What drives you to fight for justice?
Plenty of people will tell you I'm no hero. Some of them might be living in the Abbey. But I really do care about doing what's right. I guess you could say I had a tough childhood. Always wished I'd had a strong friend who could save me from the monsters in my life. So I became a monster. To save those too small to fight for themselves. Yeah, they might be afraid of me, but I'll keep them safe.
You seem ruthless for a hero.
Is that a question?
Half the MidnightSuns believe the greater good can sometimes outweigh a single life, but none of them, well...
Eat their enemies?
You could put it that way.
My brand of justice is an acquired taste.
I would like to know more about your symbiote.
Naturally. Go for it.
How did you and the symbiote connect with one another?
I got bitten by a radioactive pool of motor oil.
What?
Nah, that would have been less traumatic. Truth is, Spider-Man brought the symbiote back from space.
Space?
Be surprised what that kid gets up to. Anyway, Parker found the suit ill-fitting. His loss was my gain. Maybe I'll tell you the story someday.
What are your capabilities on the battlefield?
Without your mom's demonic protein powder, we can still bench press a bus if we need to. We also have limited shape-shifting abilities. Our tendrils are handy when we need to grab something or web someone to a wall. And we can also camouflage ourselves if needed. Don't tell Parker, but he traded down when he went back to those red and blue pajamas.
I notice that you sometimes refer to yourself as we. Why is that?
Because I'm a king in black.
What does that mean?
It doesn't matter. Truth is, Venom isn't a singular personality. It's a combination of myself and the symbiote. That's why we say we.
It must be strange to have a conversation with the voice inside your head.
Yeah, well, if you thought it was hard fighting vampires, try doing it when your costume is yelling in your ear.
Eddie, can I talk to Venom now?
That's not how it works. I'm not deranged. I just share a body with an alien symbiote. And okay, yeah, that does sound deranged. But it also happens to be true. You want to talk to Venom? You always are, Hunter.
Actually, I have to run.
I'm around if you need me.
Peter, are you all right?
Why? Because one of my ex-nemeses now lives in the same building? Do I not look okay? I'm thinking calming thoughts.
You seem on edge. Is it Eddie?
No, why? I mean, no, why?
If it is an issue, we can find him alternative lodging. Perhaps in Limbo?
No. I think this could be a good bonding experience for Eddie and me. Sure, I didn't exactly bond with the symbiote, but you know what I mean.
I will take your word for it.
Anyway, that's not the only reason I'm on edge. Back in the sewer, Mephisto called me by my name. Is that something I need to worry about?
Mephisto tries to get under everyone's skin. Just ignore him.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'll tinker with my web shooters for a bit. Gotta take my mind off all this.
Anything else on your mind?
What does S.H.I.E.L.D. know about Mephisto?
What does an international espionage agency know about the actual devil?
Yes?
Not very much.
That is alarming.
Look, if Satan had a nuke, I could hand you a dossier thicker than your head. But he doesn't, so... Frankly, I should be asking you. What can you tell me about Mephisto?
Well, he is the actual devil.
Which is more than what S.H.I.E.L.D. will ever admit to knowing about Mephisto.
Mephisto detests new breed vampires. Do we know why?
I have no good answer for that. Nothing based on facts. My gut tells me new breed vampires keep him from getting something he wants. As for what that is, you'll have to ask the devil.
Why are Hydra soldiers willingly turning into vampires?
Define willingly. I think that's Sin's influence.
They must be extremely devoted to agree to such a change.
Or more terrified of what Sin will do if they don't. I wonder how becoming a bloodsucker mixes with the gamma serum already in their systems. I bet that's one hell of a hangover.
Thanks, Carol.
Catch you later.
What are you doing?
I think I'm getting the hang of this thing. What do 3 squiggly lines mean?
It means you should step away before Sarah notices.
Okay, so the squiggly lines just flashed red. Is that bad?
Yes, actually. What is going on? Vampires? Attacking civilians in Central Park?
Well, that means we're up, right? Innocents are in danger. We gotta take care of this right now.
Eddie, I agree completely.
Ah, first time I've heard that in years. Come on, let's do some lethal protection.
What's happening?
Help! Run for it! Help! Help! Help!
You're welcome. Cute couple.
We can't let those people become a feast for vampires. Protect them. That means you, Venom.
If we don't get to eat, neither do these bloodsuckers.
Feel free to interrupt their meals.
Gladly. We smell something nasty. What is...
Mephisto! What are you...
That's better. Now, let's get a few things straight. While perhaps one may choose to save the odd civilian, contractually, in the fight to end the vampire scourge, the spirit of the intended agreement...
Come again?
I did not waste my time curing you so you could save superfluous human lives.
Still boring.
Do I have your attention now? We all know what you really are. A monster. The only version of you that remotely interests me, and the only reason I allowed this deal.
Stop doing that!
Oh, I'll stop. But you've earned an object lesson. Vampires are bad for business. Vampires keep souls from flowing to where they're most needed. With less souls, there are more soulless. Do you understand the lesson? because it's time for some target practice.
So many targets.
I just see 2 of them. Acceptable outcome. You've earned some small measure of my respect. And I hope, learned your lesson.
The lesson is, we do not like being the target.
Of course you don't. And that burning in your chest, that would be...
indigestion.
That would be regret. The most overused human seasoning.
Seasoned humans are delicious.
Would you?
Enough! If you want this so much, stop posturing and tell us where to go.
Find what you seek, where it all began. Now, eradicate the vampire threat, or join me in limbo forever.
You do not dare!
Right, off you go. I don't know why I bother.
Hey, you mind checking in with Eddie? Whatever happened with Mephisto has him especially bummed.
Why not talk to him yourself?
Because I want him to cheer up?
Of course. I will speak with him.
Thanks. Oh, and don't tell him I asked. Wouldn't want to spoil his mood any further.
You seem frustrated. If you need to vent, I could hold the punching bag while you hit it.
Nah, I can't take everything out on Peter.
That is not what I...
Yeah, I know what you meant. Sorry, Hunter. Didn't mean to bite your head off. Honestly, I feel like I'm the one who's getting used as a punching bag right now.
Mephisto is getting to you?
Ha, for starters. Don't forget about Lilith. And with these vampires, feels like everyone's forming a line.
That is a lot.
Your mother controlled me. She took away my free will. Now Mephisto has me under his thumb. I'm tired of being someone's puppet.
You are angry, and you should be. Channel it. Use it to fuel the battles ahead.
Yeah, I got no shortage of fuel, so don't worry. But I get your point. My symbiote is a great companion, but makes it hard for me to think straight when I get worked up. You know, I always thought of myself as the lethal protector. I can be the bad guy if it means protecting the innocent, but Mephisto has me all twisted up. It makes me think I can't even do that.
Sounds like the only thing left to do is teach Mephisto not to mess with the MidnightSuns.
Huh. All right. I can get on board with that. You know, I was actually thinking about that already. You ever heard of the legendary spear of Perseus? And not the fabled hero who beheaded Medusa, but the real-life Macedonian king. A book in the library says he possessed a god-forged spear that made him invincible. Something like that might kill Mephisto.
If Perseus was invincible, what happened to him?
Oh, his territory was eventually conquered by the Romans. But I'm sure that's only because the spear had been stolen before then.
You really believe a blade like this still exists?
Well, yeah, it's indestructible. It's gotta be somewhere.
You should speak to Caretaker or Dr. Strange. I'm sure they could offer details about the spear you would find enlightening.
Are you saying that I can't trust my own sources? Those party poopers would just tell me that chasing after the spear is a fool's errand. But, okay, I see what you're getting at. I'm taking the screwball approach to things like I always do. But still, I have to do something. Give me some time to think.
You talked to Eddie? How's he doing?
He was upset at his ill treatment by Lilith and Mephisto, but he wants to do the right thing. I plan to support him.
That makes 2 of us.
He needs time to recover, but it seems he will be all right.
Sure, but How do I put this delicately? I'm concerned his emotions will get the better of him.
How so?
Well, Eddie was always an emotional tornado, but the symbiote doesn't help. It feeds off his emotions, enhances them.
Eddie's feelings are not his own?
Oh, they are, but they're amplified, sometimes to a dangerous degree. Take it from me, the symbiote can really wind your gears.
Eddie will have an easier time taming his impulses if he feels like part of the team.
You're right about that. I hope the rest of the team can be patient with him while he adjusts. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him. If he stops acting like the Eddie I know, you'll be the first to hear it. Hunter, got a big problem, not sure how to fix it.
Slow down, Peter. Tell me what happened.
Okay, Eddie left me a note. Real ominous stuff. Said he knows where to find the ultimate answer. Look, I've seen Venom in dark places before, but this? I'm worried he and the symbiote have hit a breaking point.
I will help you find him.
That's just it. I looked everywhere. Unless he crawled into the forge, he's not in the Abbey.
He's not in the Abbey.
Exactly my point.
He asked me to open a portal, so I did.
Where did you send him?
A church.
Where Venom and I fought in the bell tower?
Yes?
Hunter, that's where Venom was born. We have to go, right now.
All right, Peter. I will follow your lead. Ileana, could you...
Open a portal. Fine. But no more piecemeal trips. You must all return together.
That's the hope. What's going on, Ed?
Got to thinking. Mephisto said I would find what I seek where it all began. Gotta be here, right?
I guess this church is the place where I lose things, and you find them. Any luck?
Whole lot of nothing.
What's eating at you?
I caused a mountain of hurt. In the name of some... freaky demon lady?
Lilith. She controlled you, Eddie.
She didn't do all this. I did. Look around. I'm never gonna clean this mess up. Never gonna make any of this right.
You don't know that.
You know me. I screw everything up. Maybe I deserve this curse.
My Aunt May says the easiest way to let the darkness win is to do nothing.
Yeah, well, I don't have an Aunt May. All I get is this. Whole lot of watching someone else get to be the good guy. Must be nice. You okay, Parker?
I gotta say, something's setting my spidey sense off. Kinda jacked up to maximum overdrive here.
It's all about boundaries, Parker. Gotta put that thing on mute sometimes.
Maybe someday, but this is different. It feels like...
Vampires.
You got my back? I got yours.
Brothers in vamp slime. Let's do this.
After you, Eddie.
After us.
These catacombs are older than the church. Look, hemolisks.
We are looking. Them could be eating.
This could be the source of the whole vampire infestation. Uh-oh, that's not a small entrance.
Infestation? Infestation?
Prince of Darkness?
Wait, You mean...
The father of death.
So to be clear...
The Impaler.
Humanity itself is the infestation. You insect.
Okay, first, arachnids aren't insects. Don't feel bad. It's a common misconception. Second, love the costume. Seriously, I dressed like you last Halloween.
That is no costume.
Crab. Enough of this! We've got this!
On my count!
I am ready.
We are also ready.
1, 2...
3!
I understood that social cue.
My children, you think this stops my plans? Today, your only gain is an immortal enemy.
Much better. Now, could someone give us a lift out of here?
Another deal, then?
No!
No.
Yes! No.
Pity.
So, aside from the soul hoarding thing, what is the devil's beef with Dracula?
He broke his agreement. But I am pleased.
We are not!
You have made progress. I look forward to what comes next. Eddie can stay Eddie for now. Not to worry. I'll see the rest of you very soon.
Hard to believe you were once rivals. Today, I fought beside partners.
I guess you're right. It felt good working with you, Eddie. For the first time in forever, I didn't think the symbiote was preparing to devour one of my organs.
Yeah, we really sent Dracula packing, huh? And it's a relief to have Mephisto off my back.
You're a free man. What's the plan now?
Yeah. Free.
Eddie? This is the part where you say, I'm gonna eat 2 pizzas and sleep for 11 hours. At least, that's what I'd do after a big battle. But knowing the old Parker luck, that's when I'd stumble into a battle with Doc Ock.
Eddie, is everything all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I will be fine. Completely free of Lilith's control. It almost doesn't feel real.
Do you want one of us to pinch you? Joking!
Eddie, what is wrong?
We've been so busy, I haven't processed what I did under Lilith's control. Guess my sins are still catching up to me.
Anything Lilith forced you to do was not your doing. You were blameless.
Well, the people I hurt don't have the luxury of walking away from what I did to them. So why should I? I've killed before. I can't pretend I'm above that, but I try to only take a life if it means I'm saving another. And Lilith threw all that out the window.
You see your victims' faces when you sleep?
The worst of the faces I don't remember. I get flashes of memories, like corrupted videos on repeat. I see parts of what happened, but the details are lost.
My mother did not send you to care for orphans. Consider your lack of memory a gift.
A gift, huh? Maybe you're right. Problem is, I'm never gonna know. Anyway, thanks for checking in. And don't worry too much about me. I'm gonna stick around and do what needs doing.
I know you will.
I may have lost a step, but I promise you this. Lilith will regret she ever got into our heads.
Every encounter with the new breed vampires raises more questions than it answers. What do Sin and Dracula get out of their unholy alliance? Why would Sin's Hydra troops help Dracula's cause? And what is their endgame?
I have a theory.
Go for it.
The Prince of Darkness will never share his throne. He made promises to Sin, of what I do not know. Gained her trust and her Hydra loyalists, but it won't be long before he disposes of her.
Yeah, I can't imagine Dracula sharing his throne. And Sin would never provide troops without a promise of greater power. One of them would have to go. Whatever the actual reason, the outcome is always expand the power of new breed vampires. Let's focus on what we know. Putting aside that you came face to face with actual Dracula, I did the math on how many potential vampires you destroyed in that Hemolisk hive. That place could have generated half the city's police force per week. New York would turn into a feeding ground.
As Robbie would say, we crashed it.
He might say something slightly different, but yeah, aside from dealing with the devil, I'd say we came out ahead.
We took a pawn out of my mother's grasp.
And it seems like it worked out. Still, I have this feeling in the pit of my stomach. Doesn't feel like a clean win, you know?
Yes, I know.
Anything else on your mind?
What do we know about the Lord of Vampires?
Honestly, if Blade didn't vouch for it, I wouldn't believe he existed.
He certainly does.
There's so much information about Dracula that it's hard to know what's fact and fiction. I wonder if he had a hand in that.
What is a Hemolisk exactly?
It's an egg sac. But instead of cute baby spiders inside, you find fully formed new breed vampires. With enough time, a single Hemolisk could generate an endless number of vampires. So goes the theory.
How does it work?
In a way that defies biology. Strange theorized they are creations of dark magic, and I quote, perhaps derived from the Darkhold itself. No need to mention I do a killer Stephen Strange impression, especially not to him.
No promises. Thanks, Carol.
Sure thing.
Getting reports from all 5 boroughs. More Hydra troopers with fangs. Talk about making a bad thing worse.
I've tried tracking down what they're up to.
Find anything?
Nothing that could still speak.
I may know somebody who could help.
No offense. This isn't exactly friendly neighborhood stuff. Not sure your contacts will be much help.
He's not that friendly.
Who?
He's also not one of the bad guys.
Who exactly?
A physician of sorts. Look, do you want to figure this out or not?
Morbius.
Blade.
You've met? Gotta admit, I've never seen a vampire feed on another vampire.
I've felt it.
One time. I bit you one time. It wasn't fun for me either. You taste like an old barbell.
There's a cat fight joke in here somewhere, but I can't figure it out. Look, Dr. Morbius, we need your help. Someone is turning Hydra troopers into vampires. We don't know why or what they want.
According to the creature I just ate, they're after my research. I can tarry no longer. I must return to my lab before they...
You're going nowhere.
Don't have a hissy fit. It was right in front of me. Maybe we can help each other out. So, where is this lab?
You get used to the stench.
I never do.
Wait, where? You were right, Doc. We shouldn't have tarried.
I see you've located the doctor. I hope he's feeling cooperative.
I think we're all on the same page here. Common enemy, the greater good. Everyone gets it, right?
Of course.
We'll see.
These things are hardly worthy of being classified as vampires. Not that I'm overly protective of the title.
That didn't stop you from feeding on them.
You know as well as I do, Blade. Your thirst, my hunger. We can only fight it for so long.
Some of us have tried harder than others.
Oh, you think I haven't tried to end this?
I think you don't mind that you failed.
Maybe you don't understand my path, Blade. I have surmounted one challenge after another just to reach this point.
I know what you've been trying to do since you turned, and it has nothing to do with stopping the thirst.
Where my blood fails me, I have no choice but to feed. But that doesn't mean I can't change at all.
Hate to break up the moment, but we should probably deal with the bad guys, right?
All my work lost.
What kind of work, Doc? This is twisted.
Thought he was one of the good guys.
I said he was not one of the bad guys.
Knowledge has no inherent morality. This is science.
Tell it to them.
They'll be fine. Eventually.
What exactly are you doing here, Dr. Morbius?
Research. A gamma serum flows through the blood of these Hydra soldiers, augmenting their capabilities. It inspired me to concoct a prototype sample, a serum of my own. I thought it might dampen the effects of the sunlight on my abilities. But its protective qualities were far more effective than I expected.
Whoa. Are we talking...
Daywalker in a vial. Morbius, tell me it doesn't work.
Not yet. The prototype sample needs time to fully mature. But it's gone. Along with all my notes. I'll have to start over.
Looks like they're back for seconds.
Nah, they have the sample. They want to take out the only competition in town.
Then we shall dissuade them.
No further, abomination.
Okay, it's cool. Morbius is with us now.
With us?
You would bring a vampire into the Abbey?
Well, he's not a vampire. Not exactly.
If he was, he'd be dust.
He became this way because of an experiment gone wrong, not a bite from a vamp. He's his own master, right, Doc?
If I may, there are few judges of character better than Spider-Man.
Back me up here, Blade.
As much as I hate to admit it, we could probably use his help. This once.
Hunter, was it? Thank you for not making a bigger deal about my arrival. I know my presence unnerves many.
Maybe we should call this a probationary period. I still have not made up my mind, so do not get too comfortable.
Then let me beg for your patience. I think you will find that I am a man of many talents.
You are a vampire expert. I already have one of those.
I am the world's foremost authority on vampire physiology. Blade knows a great deal about vampire rituals, habits, and social order, but he doesn't understand their biology.
Why should that matter?
In a sense, you could say Blade can take a vampire apart, but he can't put one back together.
I do not want to put vampires back together.
Of course not. Let me put it like this. If you understand the structure of an organism, you'll know its weak points, where to push so it falls apart. This is what I offer you.
That sounds great, but you must earn our trust by following through on that promise.
I see you are not easily impressed. No wonder Blade seems to like you. I think you'll be happy to know that I've actually already started researching vampire biology.
That sounds like good news.
Unfortunately, I also have bad news. I've been tinkering with a prototype gamma serum that suppresses the effects of sunlight on vampiric membranes. The vampires have taken that from me.
Then we must take it back.
That is why I'm here. And I would love to get back to that research. Unless you have further need of me.
I want to know a little more about you first.
Naturally. I am an open book.
I have heard you called a living vampire. What does that mean?
It means that unlike most vampires, I have a pulse.
How is this possible?
Most vampires are tied to the supernatural realm. They are undead creatures. My gifts are a boon of science. I am wholly unique in that way. Quite literally a freak of nature.
Who were you before you became a vampire?
I was born with a rare, degenerative blood condition. My disease would have proven fatal if I had not taken matters into my own hands and experimented on my body using vampire bat DNA. I cured myself, but there were side effects.
You seem to know Blade and Spider-Man well. What is your impression of them?
When I first became the living vampire, I struggled with my baser instincts. It took me a while to maintain control over my appetite. Spider-Man and Blade were the first two heroes I encountered, and they protected many innocent people from my wrath.
You mean they fought you?
Yes. But I am grateful because they encouraged me to become a better man. Though I wish Blade's approach hadn't been nearly so ferocious.
I would like to know more about your capabilities.
Like a traditional vampire, I possess enhanced strength, speed, and acute senses. An accelerated healing factor allows me to bounce back from otherwise mortal injuries. And while I cannot fly in the traditional sense, I have the psionic ability to glide over great distances.
Do you share other vampiric weaknesses?
One of the advantages of being a living vampire is that I do not have those Achilles heels. I could drink holy water all day, and a silver bullet stings like a lead one. One slight exception is daylight. I do not burn under the sun, but my eyes are sensitive to the light, and my powers are somewhat dampened during the daytime.
Do you have to consume blood like any other vampire?
Regrettably, not only do I need to consume human blood, I crave it. But you do not need to worry. I keep my cravings in check these days, and only feed on those who prey on others.
Never mind. I will let you settle in.
Happy to talk anytime.
Blade, are you actually comfortable with Morbius living here?
Comfortable? I'll never be comfortable around that monster. But if I'm being generous, he could be useful.
If this was a mistake, let me know. We will do whatever you think is best.
Hey, I don't want that responsibility. If this goes south, I'm not taking the blame.
What exactly is your history with Morbius?
I don't like getting into that.
But the two of you have fought before. What makes you think we can trust him now?
I never said we could trust him. If that man loses control to his bloodthirst, I'll end him myself. But the vampires are using his experiments against us. We need him to clean up his own mess.
So Morbius is just a tool to you?
Call it whatever you want. I call it practical.
Sorry we didn't give you a heads up before. You know, about bringing a vampire into the Abbey. It all happened kind of fast.
Are you sure we can trust Morbius?
Yeah. Morbius has his demons, but he's a teddy bear. A snarly teddy bear. With fangs. But there's stuffing in there, somewhere.
This is not helping your argument.
What I'm trying to say is that Morbius has a good heart. And exceptionally good blood.
Good blood?
Yeah. Whatever Morbius did to transform his body infused the heme in his blood with curative properties. I'd love to help him study it further, if I ever have the time. Since we're fighting new breed vampires, we'd do well to have a living vampire in our corner.
Anything else on your mind?
What happens if Hydra successfully replicates Morbius's prototype sample?
Sunproof vampires seem like a bad idea for all involved.
Maybe not for the vampires.
For now, it's just a scary theory. Even if it works, there could be side effects, like new breed vampires bursting into flame upon contact with oxygen. Yeah, wishful thinking, but prototypes can be unpredictable. Just to ask Hank Pym about Ultron.
Thanks, Carol.
Catch you later.
Now that the Hydra vampires have my prototype sample, I've no doubt they'll attempt to create their own sunlight serum.
Mass produce it, more like.
But where would Hydra vampires go to mass-produce sunlight serum?
Somewhere familiar to them.
How about a Hydra facility that makes the gamma goop they put in their blood?
Yes, I'm going to go with exactly like that.
How about one sending a distress signal about a vampire invasion? Might be a good place to start.
Has Hydra turned upon itself?
No, this is biology. It is a vampire's nature to betray the living.
Excuse me?
Oh, but not mine. I differ on a biological level.
Relax. It was a joke.
Sin. I should have known you were behind this.
Hold them off. We need more time. Go. Feed upon them. Let their veins bleed rivers.
I'll take that.
Your prototype sample?
Indeed. And now to destroy the sunlight serum. But it's not all here, is it?
Of course not. We manufactured so much, all transported off-site before you even arrived. This is the final batch, a reserve. I am a wolf in the night. The yapping of a mangy cur does not concern me.
Tell me where you brought the serum!
Watch that temper, little mutt. You don't want to lash out and bite the ones you love.
Tell me!
Where else, you pathetic counterfeit? I delivered it to the Lord of Vampires.
You don't know what you've done.
Oh, but I do. Dracula, my master, has enough sunlight serum to supply an army. And there's nothing you can do to stop him.
I came out here to be alone, Hunter.
Are you sure being alone is a good idea right now?
Blade sent you to check on me, didn't he? Probably didn't want to come himself because he thought we'd just end up fighting.
Is he wrong?
Of course not. And I can't promise we won't end up trading blows before the night is through, either.
If you truly wish to challenge me, I will not back down.
I've seen you in battle. I'm probably better off going after Dracula alone.
Then focus your anger at him.
They stole my work, Hunter. They perverted it for their own designs. There is an army of vampires ready to cut loose on the world, and they're all immune to sunlight. I did that. Not Dracula.
You could not have known that Dracula would get his hands on your sample.
No. But I should have foreseen that he'd want it. That he would come for it.
We will fix this. Together.
You're right. Wallowing in self-pity will accomplish nothing. We must prepare to act. Oh, and Hunter. I'm sorry. My behavior tonight was beyond the pale. I wish you had not seen me like this.
Doctor, my mother turned against me and started building an army. I understand betrayal. You have no need to apologize.
You are too kind. I really am glad you came. Instead of Blade. Well, I would love a few quiet moments to meditate on what we've said. Unless you need something else.
Enjoy the quiet.
I'll just be here. Brooding.
How did it go with Morbius? Is he slipping?
Relax, Blade.
That man is a walking bomb. Maybe the fuse isn't lit, but I don't want to be caught holding him when he explodes.
Morbius is trying to be a good man. I want to support him.
I know I'm the one who said he'd be useful, but we can't be careless about this.
I am surprised, Blade. You and Morbius are not that different. I thought you knew the darkness with which he wrestles. I thought you would empathize with him.
I do know that darkness. That's why I'm worried. Morbius can't kill the monster inside. He can only continue to build a cage around it. He didn't ask for this curse, and he wouldn't wish it on anyone.
Are you still talking about Morbius?
Just watch your back, Hunter.
Hunter, I heard that you went to talk to Morbius. If it helps, I know of an infused herbal tea renowned for its calming effects.
I do not think that'll be necessary, Stephen.
I must admit Morbius is an anomaly. He's no longer human, but he isn't like other vampires. He struggles to find a place he belongs.
We are all on a journey to find belonging. In that sense, Morbius is not alone.
Very perceptive, Hunter. Though I wonder if Morbius would find it comforting.
It sounds like you care about Morbius.
I recognize something inside of him. Our ambitions are similar. We were both obsessed with our work, with our goals. That drive eventually led to his downfall, as did mine.
Yet you are both very different men.
But the need for spiritual recuperation affects us both. Do not be surprised that Morbius loses control. That is his crucible. He must overcome it to make peace with himself.
Getting word of another attack. Vampires in Central Park. Right before dawn. Can you imagine?
Dawn?
I knew this was coming. Just not so soon.
The city is in enough chaos.
We'll handle it. No problem.
Ah, Blade. Ever the optimist, hmm? Look at them. The sun will be up any minute now. They don't seem to care.
Then let's make them care.
They do not fear the sun.
I'll give them something to fear.
No. Allow me!
So, the wait is finally over. How long has it been since you felt the sun on your face, Dracula?
Centuries. The better part of a millennium, in fact. But you already knew that, Blade. And thanks to your unlikely ally, Dr. Morbius, I will bask in the dawn for eternity.
I cannot allow that!
My children will finally know true freedom, the power to rule the day just as easily as we rule the night.
You rule the night? Maybe in some rat hole in Transylvania, but New York is my town.
That is all about to change. Just as it began, your legacy ends with the rising sun. Lost children, you disappoint us, betray us, shed the blood of your own.
No one hurts you more than family.
Join us in the light. We won't ask again.
You won't. But not for the reason you think.
I don't understand. Why aren't you?
To mass produce the serum, you diluted my sample. Yes, it protected you from the sunlight, but each use of your powers burned more of it away. You are, as they say, running on fumes. And when those expire, so do you.
This isn't over.
It is, for now. Unless you'd care to stay for a walk in the park.
Back to the sewer, where he belongs.
Are you disappointed we didn't destroy him?
Nah, he always comes back. But knowing he's got to live with that humiliation almost makes it worth knowing you.
Congratulations, Hunter. Dracula's vampires suffered a major loss today.
You deserve the credit, Doctor. You did good work today.
The sunlight serum is so diluted it no longer poses a threat. The vampires have been cast back into the night, where they belong. I don't think I can properly express my relief. Hunter, if you had not been there to lean on throughout all this, I do not know how I would have survived.
This is a small victory and worth celebrating, but a greater threat still looms over us.
Of course. I may be getting too far ahead of myself. Hunter, you should know that I will remain committed to the MidnightSuns' greater mission. You all helped me in my time of need. It is only fair that I return the favor.
Your support is much appreciated.
Marvelous. But before we move on, we must make one final decision regarding the sunlight serum.
We?
Oh, yes. I value your guidance. My prototype sample is no more, but I still possess my research notes. I could continue my experiments in the hopes of curing myself and maybe others, unless the risk of it falling into the wrong hands seems too great.
If a cure is possible, you should continue to look for it. If someone tries to exploit your research again, we will be here to stop them.
I was hoping you would feel that way. I can't wait to get back to work. After this business with Lilith is settled, of course. Thank you for your help, Hunter.
You were right, Blade. Morbius proved very useful today.
You know, even I'm impressed that he stared down Dracula.
So, did the two of you bury the hatchet?
We're not exactly friends, but I appreciate his experience in the field.
Sounds like someone is developing a grudging respect for the living vampire.
Okay, sure. Just don't tell him I said that.
You know, grudging respect is the first step to real friendship.
It's time to drop this, Hunter.
It seems we can finally put this ordeal with Morbius's serum behind us.
Thankfully, we have more important things to focus on now.
Hunter, thank you for not being overly harsh with Morbius.
I only did what seemed to be right at the time.
I would say you are wise beyond your years, but you have more years than most of us put together. Maybe that's what makes you so discerning.
And still no wrinkles.
Indeed. I am just glad that Morbius found some peace of mind. I am familiar with that journey. It's not easy. Be proud of your part in that, Hunter.
I can't believe I'm saying this aloud, but I think I figured out Dracula's master plan.
Go on.
There is a Lilith connection, but it's not direct. Dracula is acting like he knows the world is coming to an end. Didn't expect him to be an apocalypse prepper, but here we are. Think of every play he's backed so far. Some of his plans overlap, right?
I had noticed that.
That's because he's throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. It doesn't matter what plans fail. As long as one succeeds, he wins. The good news is, we're foiling his plans faster than he's setting them in motion. If we keep nipping these buds, he'll have nothing left. Let's debrief on the latest. Looks like Dracula's plan went up in smoke. See what I did there?
I do. Is the sunlight serum truly gone?
Dracula still has a supply, but it's barely effective, as you experienced. For a master plan, this one was a real dud.
Morbius shamed Dracula. The Lord of Vampires will rid himself of the serum.
I think you're right. Never mess with the sun.
You mean the Suns?
But shh.
What?
It's a... never mind. Central is tracking all mention of the sunlight serum or anything like it. Unless it finds something, I think we're done here. Hello?
Hey kid, a mutual friend needs our help.
Logan? But how did you get...
I have my ways. Look, you want to help or not?
Depends on the friend.
Aurora Monroe.
Oh, of course. I'm free now.
Good. You know where to find us.
Where the trouble is.
Eliana, thank you for coming.
Aurora, you can always count on me.
A friendship for all seasons is a powerful thing. Thank the goddess for that. We miss you at the school. You are always welcome home.
I found my home with the MidnightSuns. But that does not mean I leave friends behind. What is the problem?
A year ago, the professor detected a mutant living here with dormant abilities. I met with her, a fierce young woman named Dahlia, and invited her to attend Xavier's school. She declined. The orphanage was all she knew. I came here today to see if she had changed her mind, but according to the orphanage, she disappeared 3 months ago.
Let me guess. As soon as her powers manifested.
It's my fault. I didn't want to push her, to take her away from the only place she felt safe. I thought she could hide in plain sight a bit longer. I was wrong.
You did what you thought was right. As you always do.
Dahlia would never harm another person. And now she slipped through the cracks. Another ghost in the wind.
This city is not kind to its ghosts.
Especially not when it's infested with vampires.
That's why we're gonna find her before they do.
They already found us.
Protect the children, at any cost.
Why bother protecting society's dregs? It is beneath your stature.
Beneath me, all I see is you.
The new breed vampires are an evolution, just as mutants were before them. But vampires continue to grow. Mutants remain tethered to humanity, a broken branch on the evolutionary tree. These cast-offs are not your family. They are fuel. There is a food chain. And it is time we ate up.
Drop! That was a quarter of my power. I'm glad the training stayed with you.
The danger room left an impression. As you did with Sin. She won't be back.
It's why she was here in the first place that concerns me.
Agreed. This is bigger than us. If we're going to take on Sin...
And find Dahlia.
We need reinforcements.
Most of the X-Men are off-planet dealing with the Shi'ar brood war.
Don't worry. The MidnightSuns will help.
Storm, is it?
Indeed. You must be the hunter. Magic told me about you.
Why does that make me nervous?
Nothing but good things, I promise. Thank you for welcoming me into your home. I must say, this place is unlike anything I've seen before. There is an air of mystery and wonder, but it feels welcoming and safe all at the same time. How curious.
The Abbey is special. It even holds secrets that I have not uncovered.
Sounds unique indeed. I can already see the similarities between here and Xavier's school. Speaking of, what do you think is the most interesting part of the Abbey?
There is much foliage and food to harvest from the grounds. I am grateful for it all.
Appreciating what the land gives us is great. Do you give back to the earth?
I am careful not to overindulge. I like to leave some for the wildlife.
I'm sure the deer and rabbits are thankful for that. Apologies. I have been dominating the conversation. Have you any questions for me?
Yes, I have a few.
By all means, ask away.
Can you tell me about your background?
I won't go into too much detail, but I was left orphaned as a child. I learned how to fend for myself and became a skilled pickpocket.
You stole from others?
To survive, and it worked. I scraped by. After a few years, my mutant abilities presented themselves, and I was approached by Xavier to join the X-Men. The rest is history.
I feel like you were leaving some parts out.
Perhaps. My past is just that. It is behind me, and I prefer to focus on what is ahead.
I saw bright lights coming from your hands. What was that?
It's a little complicated, but I have the power to control the weather and atmosphere. What you saw back there was electricity.
Wow, that is amazing. Now I understand the meaning behind your name.
Thunder and lightning don't roll off the tongue as easily.
You said your powers are complicated. May I ask how?
Maybe I'll go into full detail another time, but let's just say I can't mess with Mother Nature too much.
I see. Like checks and balances?
Exactly.
What is your given name?
Aurora Monroe. What about yours?
The Hunter.
Short and sweet. I like it.
Does your name hold any significance like mine does?
I was told it meant beauty. A little embarrassing, but I understand the intent.
I changed my mind.
The offer still stands.
So, what do you think of Storm?
I am eager to work alongside her.
She has that effect on people.
Even on you.
She was my mentor. Of course I respected her. But it had to be earned first. Some leaders blather on to avoid making tough decisions. But not Storm.
She did not go into much detail about the extent of her powers, but they sound impressive.
Impressive? She is 100% grade A badass.
100 badasses. Got it.
Ah, you are hopeless.
I think Dahlia might be hiding with the Morlocks.
The Morlocks?
Mutants who live in the tunnels beneath the city, and who stay away from the X-Men. There's a homeless encampment by an entrance to the Morlock tunnels. Vampires have attacked it 3 times this week.
That cannot be a coincidence. Do you think the vampires are hunting this child?
I don't know. The city's most vulnerable population is being erased, mutants and humans alike. Disappearing from shelters, off the streets.
The vampires go after anyone the world would not miss.
Or even notice.
Until now.
Run for it! Help!
Quickly! We must help them.
Save everyone you can, and keep your eyes open for Dahlia.
I'm looking!
Me too. I just don't like what I see.
We are being watched.
Let them watch. Give them no cause to fear us.
It's all right. You'll be as good as new.
Dahlia?
Aurora? What are you doing here?
I tried to find you at the orphanage, but...
But what?
It seemed you were in distress. I wanted to help.
I'm not the one who needs help. Look around you. I can do more here than wearing a fancy yellow suit. The Morlocks took me in. They just welcomed me into their family. But now someone is trying to tear our family apart.
I am so sorry.
No, you're not. You say you're all about protecting mutants, but it's only the ones who live in that mansion. You don't even see people like us.
That's not true.
What happened here?
We were attacked by creatures. We don't know what they are or what they want. Most of us fled after the last attack. Some are too wounded to move. I just need more time to heal them.
What can we do?
You really want to help? Stop those things from killing my family.
Dahlia! It's over. You're safe.
Thank you, Aurora. And the rest of you. We're not used to people looking out for us.
Is there anything else we can do?
No, we'll be all right. I've healed the others. We'll move where they can't find us.
Dahlia, you don't have to be alone. The X-Men would welcome you.
Thanks, but I'm not alone. And I can't abandon my family for yours.
All right. And if you ever need me...
You'll be the first we call.
Goddess be with you. All of you. You were right about the Abbey being special. It's beautiful out here.
I like to come here when I am feeling down.
Subtlety is not your strong suit. You want to ask about Dahlia, yes?
Dahlia believes you only care about the X-Men who choose to join. Her words hurt you.
Not exactly, but they've left me to wonder. And the act of self-reflection is often uncomfortable.
I do not follow.
Her comment has caused me to think about how I treat my students. I don't think I choose favorites, but what if I do without realizing it? Regardless, I'm relieved to see her safe and happy with her found family. I'll keep worrying about her until the vampires are taken care of.
I relate. The MidnightSuns are my family, and I share the same concerns over their safety.
That almost sounds silly, worrying about people with powers. But I appreciate your words. It feels good to know I am not alone.
I think the fear is natural. Having abilities puts targets on our backs.
That is a good point.
Just because we are strong does not mean we are invincible.
Where were you when I was a teenager? That's what leadership is. Knowing when to step in and when to respect boundaries.
How do you know?
They'll straight up tell you. Or you'll just feel it.
Sounds complicated.
It gets easier with time. Thank you for coming to check on me, Hunter. Leaders often have to take these burdens on by themselves.
I am not a leader.
Oh, please. I call it like I see it. Vampires hit the Morlocks again.
And Dahlia?
Taken.
So this is the part where we bring her back.
I thought you might take some convincing.
You had us at kill vampires.
By the goddess.
Sin's handiwork, no doubt. We should free them before they...
This city has had enough of Sin and her pets. She's long past due a reckoning.
Bad news. More on the way.
That is bad. For them. Dahlia!
What the hell have you done, vamp?
What have I done? A work of true genius. Personal alchemies, artifacts acquired over centuries.
And blood? Siphoned from dozens of innocents?
Hundreds. Mutant, human, a combined broth.
All to fulfill my one purpose. The creation of a vast immortal army that can cross sacred ground, that requires no invitation,
No flaw, no failure, no death. Just perfection.
No stakes. No silver.
No weakness whatsoever.
Except for me.
Enough bravado. My plan was flawless. All I needed was the right filter.
I always knew you were a parasite. But picking on kids? You're garbage.
You always have such a way with words, Blade. And you're so angry.
That almost sounded like garbage trying to talk.
Enough of your disrespect!
Now who's angry?
Enough!
No!
Master!
In the end, you are all alone.
Then so shall it be with you!
It seems vampires are vulnerable to lightning.
That was half my power. Don't move. You're all right now.
You came back for me.
Of course we did.
What now?
We'll take you home. Wherever you want that to be.
You can sleep in my room tonight, Dahlia.
What? No, I don't want to kick you out of your own space.
Don't worry about it. I can sleep in limbo.
Oh, I'm guessing there's no point in arguing with you.
You're smart. Try to get some rest. You need it.
In a bit. There's something I need to do first.
How do you feel?
Aside from the obvious, I'm alright. Although I've noticed my abilities don't feel the same. I don't know how to describe it, but it's,
Darker?
yeah. How did you...
I have darkness within me, too. I understand what it is like.
I don't want it to linger, to control me. How do you deal with it?
Do not be scared of the darkness. It is not evil. It serves to balance out the light in you.
It's kind of hard not to think of darkness as big and scary and bad.
Because that is what we are taught. You will learn to harness and control the darkness, just as you do the light.
Okay. Well, when you put it that way, it sounds less intimidating.
You are not corrupt, and this new feeling will serve to guide you.
Thanks. That makes me feel better. You know, I'm actually surprised that you all came to rescue me. Don't get me wrong, I'm totally glad that you did. It was just unexpected.
What is next for you, Dahlia?
Honestly, I don't know. But for the first time in my life, I get to choose. Everything is up in the air, but, you know, I'm taking it day by day. I'm still cool to talk if you have more questions.
Has your opinion of Storm changed?
I was really unkind to her in the sewer. I spoke out of anger, and I regret it.
The words you spoke held no truth?
Yes. And no. It's complicated. But Storm showed up when it mattered. She cares about me and the Morlocks, and she showed it.
You should tell her this.
I plan on it.
How do you feel about leaving the orphanage?
Conflicted. On one hand, I hated it. Every day was a reminder that I didn't belong. But I was surrounded by kids who felt the same way, and we became a family.
You miss your friends.
I do. Leaving them behind sucked. But once I learned about the Morlocks, I knew I needed to help.
Then you found another new family.
I'm forever grateful they took me in.
What are your thoughts on the Morlocks?
They're my family. They took me in, and we cared for each other. We're all mutants just trying to get by.
They are not wary of you?
They were at first. They thought I was one of the X-Men. But once they saw I wanted to help, we built up trust.
Is being an X-Men bad?
Morlocks are used to being outcasts because of the way they look. There's a misunderstanding between the two groups, you know.
Have you reconsidered Storm's offer?
I was worried about this question. I have no idea.
That is okay. You do not need to know right now.
There's still so much about the X-Men I don't know about, and I can't just leave the Morlocks behind.
I am sure you will figure something out.
Me too.
See you later, Dahlia.
I hope so.
New breed vampire activity is down worldwide. Not to jinx it, but I think we're winning.
Any sign of Dracula or Sin?
None. They're off the board. I think we hit them where it hurts. Without them, the few remaining pockets of vampire activity will die out faster than Chewie devours, well, anything. Anything else on your mind?
What can you tell me about the Morlocks?
I know mostly what you do. They're mutants who live beneath the streets of New York. I read through their SHIELD file. For the most part, they're harmless.
Why does S.H.I.E.L.D. have a file on harmless mutants?
Groups of unknown mutants who live off the grid is a thorny subject in this country. I don't like it either, but until that changes, S.H.I.E.L.D. will keep tabs on them.
You spoke with Dahlia?
Yes, I wanted to check in on her.
I appreciate you doing that. I spoke with her as well.
Oh? About what?
I offered Dahlia another opportunity to join Xavier's school.
You asked again?
Third time's the charm. She said she'd sleep on her decision, so now we wait. Dahlia left this morning for Xavier's school.
You do not sound surprised.
She's got the safety of her Morlocks to consider. With so many X-Men out for the Shi'ar Brood War, there's space.
The Morlocks were invited as well?
Yes. Magic ferried everyone to the school. They'll be secure until the vampire threat is eradicated.
I'm sure Dahlia is happy they were able to join her.
It was her idea. She proposed the X-Men and the Morlocks share space at Xavier's school to better understand one another.
She had a good role model to learn from.
No, this was all her. She came to this decision despite my missteps.
So, what are your plans, now that she is safe?
You went out of your way to help me. It is only right that I return the favor. I will remain at the Abbey until your fight with Lilith is over.
Enough is enough! We must destroy Dracula, cut off the head, and the new breed vampires will fall.
We don't even know where to find him.
Well, we don't not know where to find him.
I'm sorry, what are you saying?
Honestly, I have no idea. I stopped reading scripts in 2016. I keep ad-libbing, no matter how many people tell me to shut
Unless
up.
you know where to find Dracula, shut up.
Exactly, like that. But no,
I myself have no clue where Big D and his army of foo-fangers might be.
But one of your clients might.
Depends. You hiring?
You? How?
Doc Morbius said hemolisks give off a faint gamma signature, so I cross-referenced Central's satellite data to find concentrations of the stuff. Then, figured Sin never flies commercial. She thinks she's too good for it, right? So I checked SHIELD data on private flights with suspected Hydra connections around the time she first showed up in New York, then traced back to the point of origin. Oh, and that sunlight serum is basically magic in a bottle. I had a hunch the mirror table could pick up vats of the stuff. If they shipped it anywhere, why not home base? When you put those locations together and see where they all overlap... voila. Dracula. And Sin, I'm guessing. You know I'm a journalist, right?
By the goddess. What are we waiting for?
Storm, what's the forecast?
Clear skies ahead.
Venom, eat anything behind us.
Why stop there?
Deadpool, Morbius, anything comes across that bridge.
Less talky, more shooty, right, Doc?
Time to make a few house calls.
Wow, that's a serious castle. Funny how no one knew it was here all this time.
Most people couldn't point out Transylvania on a map.
Maybe that's because it's pronounced Pennsylvania?
Point well taken, Blade.
Die!
Was that your full power?
And then some.
Venom and Storm with me. Morbius, Deadpool, can you buy us some time?
Time for what?
Let me guess. Tombside chat with Vladdy the Vamp Daddy?
More of a pointed discussion.
Once again, my disciple underestimates your power. As you underestimate mine.
You must see it by now, Dracula. Your game is coming to an end.
This time, you will be our toy.
Good. You're feeling confident. I don't want any excuses when you lay vanquished at my feet.
Keep talking. I'm gonna enjoy this.
Screw this, I'm not missing the boss fight.
You think you've won? Without my grand endeavor, nothing will protect you from what is coming.
We'll manage. Oh, did you want to get a lick in?
Oh no, you had it handled. My concern, as always, is the bigger picture. The new breed vampires are no more.
No more bad food?
Maybe. You like pancakes?
It is past time we go.
I've never been so happy to see a shiny blue hole. Oh, except for the time I met Ronan the Accuser. It's beautiful.
Do you think he's really gone?
I'm cautiously optimistic.
In the end, an unworthy master. I shall not make the same mistake twice.